Okay. We are about to start the process of solving any type of equations. This is actually not found in your book. What we're going to go ahead and start on is there's going to be 6 steps, and we're going to go ahead and focus on step 5 or 6. Step 5 or 6. Then on the back side, we're going to focus on step 5 and 6, where we put them together. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about in solving equations, this should be review. In solving equations, we need to get rid of the constant first. It's the number not attached. And by getting rid of the constant, the number not attached, we are either going to add or subtract. We always do the opposite of what we see. Then in order to get rid of the coefficient, which is the number that is attached, we're either going to, we're going to divide. We're not going to need to multiply. We're going to deal with fractions later. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. On number 1, my first question is, would I focus on step 5 or step 6? So on step 5, it says it's a constant. Well, here's my r. So my whole goal is to get the variable by itself. If this is my r, I only need to focus on getting rid of what is on the r side. The 19 is on the r side, so I'm adding 19. 19 is not attached to my variable. Therefore, I need to either add or subtract to get rid of this. So if I'm adding 19, I need to subtract 19 to get rid of it on my variable side. If I get rid of 19 on this side, I have to get rid of 19 on the other side. 23 minus 19 is 4. Therefore, r equals 4. We can actually go ahead and double check our answer by plugging back in. Does this make sense? Well, if r is 4, then I would say 4 plus 19. Well, that's 23. Does 23 equal 23? Yes, so it makes sense. On number 2, I'm looking at my variable side. I like to draw a line down to separate my variable side to my non-variable side. N plus 5, so I'm adding 5. Adding 5 is not attached to my variable. Therefore, it is a constant. To get rid of a constant, this time if I'm adding 5, I'm going to subtract 5. If I subtract 5 on this side, I have to subtract 5 on the other side. 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 equals n. If I were to double check, 3 would be n, so 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 equals 8, so that checks out. Number 3. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do it yourself first. Even on number 3, when it's adding negative 6, so if I'm adding negative 6, I have to add positive 6 to get rid of it. So I'm going to add positive 6 to get rid of it. Here's the reason why I taught you to add and subtract negative numbers. If I am in debt 18 but I add 6, I'm less in debt. Therefore, I subtract. So now I'm only $12 in debt. X equals negative 12. If I were to plug it back in, negative 12 plus negative 6, same signs, add and keep. Debt plus debt is more debt. That works out. Number 4, pause the video and try. On number 4, m minus 3. So, to get rid of minus 3, I have to add 3. If I add 3 on one side, I have to add it on the other side. Negative 17, so debt 17 plus 3 would be debt 14. I'm less in debt because I add 3. Number 5, pause the video and try. On number 5, if I'm adding 14 to my variable side, I have to subtract 14 to get rid of it. Negative 2 minus 14. If I'm in debt 2 and I take another 14 away, I'm more in debt. I'm in debt 16. Number 6. This time, number 6, negative 10 is connected to my variable. So the number attached to the variable. This is called the coefficient. In order to get rid of the coefficient, I'm not going to add or subtract, I'm actually going to divide. That's how I have to get rid of it. I need to turn it into 1 and not 0. So if I'm multiplying by negative 10, I have to divide by negative 10. If I divide by negative 10 on one side, I divide by negative 10 on the other. So x becomes, the zeros actually cross out, like I taught you, and then so 17 divided by negative 1 is actually negative 17. I can double check my answer. If I plug in negative 17 to x, I have negative 10 times negative 17. Two negatives make a positive. 10 times 17 is 170, so that works out. Number 7. On number 7, go ahead and cross off number 7 because that's not what I want to teach just yet. Go ahead on to number 8. Pause the video and try. On number 8, 19 is attached. If the number is attached, I have to divide. 19 divided by 19 is 1, so I get 1 in, which is the same thing as in. Divide the other side by 19. 228 divided by 19. 228 divided by 19 is 12. Number 9, pause the video and try. On number 9, if I'm adding 20, I got to subtract 20. It's not attached. Get rid of my 20, x would be 9. If I plug back in, 20 plus 9 is 29. Number 10, pause the video and see if you can figure this one out. This is the reason why I taught you the way I taught you. A subtraction by a negative becomes a plus, though this is actually k plus 18. 18 is not attached, so I have to subtract 18 to get rid of it. 18 minus 18 is 0. Now we are on the other side. On the other side, we're going to see both of these together. Therefore, I have to do step 5 before I do step 6. I have to get rid of the number not attached before I get rid of the number that is attached. Now, why does this make sense? If I'm solving an equation, I'm actually doing GMDOS. I'm following the rules of math, but I'm actually going backwards. So this time, what comes first? Adding and subtracting comes first, then multiplication, division. So I have to get rid of this before I get rid of this. So I'm going backwards to solve the problem. So let's look at number 11. I have to get rid of the number not attached first, the constant. So I'm looking at my variable side. Here's my variable side. What number is not attached to my variable? 9 is not attached. So I need to get rid of 9 first. I'm going to subtract 9, subtract 9. Debt plus debt, or debt minus debt, is more debt. So this would be negative 105 equals, and then I would bring this down. Negative 7b. Minus 7b is the same thing as negative 7b. Now, I need to get rid of the negative 7. If I'm multiplying by negative 7, I divide by negative 7. Two negative signs make a positive. 105 divided by 7 gives me 15. 15 equals b. Now, does this work? Let's check it out. So if I plug 15 back in, I would take 9 minus 7 times 15. So 7 times 15 is 105. 9 minus 105 is negative 96, so it works out even if I plug it in. Number 12. I need to get rid of the number that's not attached. Here's my variable. Negative 10 is not attached. So even if I cover up my variable with a number, that's how I know which number is not attached. The 7 is attached to the x, so I have to get rid of the negative 10 first. How do I get rid of a number that's not attached? I have to add or subtract. So if this is negative 10, I need to add positive 10 to both sides. This becomes 84. This is 7x. I bring it down. Now if I'm multiplying by 7, that's my coefficient. So in order to get rid of the coefficient, I have to divide by 7. 84 divided by 7 is 12. If I plug back in, it would check out. Go ahead and try number 13 by yourself. On number 13, I would add 1 to both sides, get rid of the number not attached. That's 84. 7b. Divide by 7, divide by 7, and I get 12 equals b again. Number 14, pause the video and try. On number 14, the number not attached is minus 8. So I got to add 8 to both sides. Debt 28 plus 8 is less debt. Negative 20 equals 4n. How do I get rid of a number that is attached, called the coefficient? I get rid of the coefficient by dividing by 4. Negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. Negative 5 equals n. Number 15. Pause the video and try. On number 15, I have to get rid of the number not attached, called the constant. Negative 9x equals 144. Divide by negative 9. 144 divided by negative 9 gives me negative 16. One negative sign. Number 16. Go ahead and pause the video and try. Number 16, get rid of 2. 10 equals 10n. Divide by 10. 1 equals n. Number 17, pause the video and try. Number 17, the constant is negative 1, or 1. So I get minus 1, I add 1. Add 1 to both sides. Debt 97 plus 1 would be less debt, which would be 96. Debt 96. To get rid of 6 that is attached, called the coefficient, I have to divide. Divide by 6, divide by 6. 96 divided by 6 gives me 16. So negative 16 equals n. Number 18. Negative 3 is my constant. I have to add 3 to both sides. That gives me 140 equals negative 7x. You have to bring this down. Even the minus is really a negative. Divide by negative 7. Divide by negative 7. 140 divided by negative 7 would be negative 20. Go ahead and try number 19. On number 19, add 7, add 7. 18 equals negative 3v. Divide by negative 3. Negative 6 equals v. Pause the video and try number 20. On number 20, I have to add 9 to both sides, bring down negative 8 in. Debt 161, add $9, I'm less in debt. I would be negative 152. Divide by negative 8. 152 divided by 8 is 19. 2 negatives make a positive, an even number of negatives. So n equals 19. And we are done.